Good morning, KU. I'm Jill Bainbridge.
And I'm Brett Ivy. It is Friday, February 7th, and you know, Jill, today's a pretty special day for us here at the J School, isn't it?
It is. It is actually William Allen White Day. William Allen White is very near and dear to our hearts in the journalism school. Mm-hmm. He actually is from Kansas. He spent some time at KU and went on to do some pretty incredible things with his life.
That's right. He's from Emporia, Kansas, which is right around here, about an hour and a half away from here in Lawrence. Mm-hmm. After he left KU, he went on to help the Emporia Gazette come to be one of the best papers in the state of Kansas. Still really is. Great read if you ever had the chance to pick up the Gazette. Please do. But you know, afterwards he kind of became a political writer over in D.C. Mm-hmm. and was very important in that aspect as well.
He was, absolutely. He actually became the national spokesman for Middle America. He had some great stories. He had some great ideas and really took politics in a new direction in this country. He was actually really good friends with Theodore Roosevelt.
Exactly, and that's really one of the cool things, you know, and he really helped out a lot. That's why our School of Journalism is named after William Allen White. But you know, one of the important things about William Allen White Day is that we present here at KU the William Allen White Excellence in Journalism Award. And this year it's being awarded to Paul Steiger. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Paul?
Absolutely. Paul Steiger is another absolutely top-notch in his field. Paul Steiger spent a lot of time at the Wall Street Journal as the managing editor, and he also founded ProPublica. ProPublica
is an independent, non-profit investigative journalism website, newsroom really, that helps kind of people all over the world see what's going on in their world, with different investigative reports, and is definitely deserving of the award today.
Oh, absolutely. And if you want to see it, he's actually going to be receiving the award next door in Alderson Auditorium at 10:30. So again, tune in, stick around. We'll have some coverage going on of that. You don't want to miss it.
Exactly. It'll be right here on KUJH and at journalism.ku.edu/crossroads, so be sure to tune in there as well. You know, another one of the cool things about William Allen White Day is that we have tons of J School alum running around the Union today, ready to see the award being given. I think it's always good to see our alumni back here.
We have a lot of friends we get to see and a lot of people that are coming in to watch the show, so pretty excited to have them around. The Union is actually pretty packed right now, which is a huge contrast to how it was 2 and 3 days ago when we had our snowpocalypse of 2014.
Just so much snow, I couldn't even handle it. Yeah, even still walking back up to school today, man, I still got snow in my shoes, barely able to handle it. But I mean, you know, it was good to have a couple days off, wasn't it?
You know, it was really good. I, of course, did the, third grader squeal when I found out it was a snow day. Had a great first snow day, just kind of hung out inside, watched some movies, but I had a little bit of cabin fever. You know, one snow day is enough, and I think it'd be different if you could get out and drive around, but that's kind of the point of a snow day, is you're stuck inside. So thankfully I was surrounded by 80 plus of my closest friends who I live with, but we all just kind of had this mentality of, I need to get outside. I need to go somewhere, whether that's Walmart or Starbucks or maybe even school.
You never know. You know, my friends and I had the same kind of thing. So on Wednesday we went over to the Campanile to do the tradition and try to go sledding down. Unfortunately, we didn't have a sled, so we ended up fighting this tote outside of my house that had been covering up some flowers or something. And so we thought, yeah, this is totally going to work. Spoiler alert: it does not work. It does not work at all. And so my buddy Hank and I, we decided, hey, what happens if we break this in half and try to go down that way? Still didn't work. But you know, it was still fun to be able to run around in the snow, have a good time. We got some really cool pictures out of it. So
absolutely.
But you know, speaking of snow, the Winter Olympics officially started yesterday with men and women's slopestyle snowboarding as well as the men's team figure skating event.
Team figure skating, yep, that was definitely the one I watched. Team figure skating, we're not at really the top of our game right now. It was a little bit of a letdown. The U.S. is actually in 7th, and Russia's in 1st. I don't like losing, and I don't like losing to Russia. You know, they're pretty impressive whether they get 1st place or whether they get 20th place. They made it to the Olympics, which is really impressive, but we have a long way to go in that field.
Absolutely. In the snowboarding events, men qualified, 3 different men in the slopestyle for the semifinals, which is very good. Chaz Gulamon ended up qualifying for 5th, so he's going to have one of the better placements, hopefully, coming up in the future. And for the women, we had 4 women qualify for slopestyle. So hopefully good things coming out of the U.S. upcoming in the Olympics.
Great.
Yep, so I think that's going to do us for the A block. We'll be right back to have a sit-down interview with Marcus Tetwiler, our student body president. Stay tuned. Back, ladies and gentlemen. Now with me, I have Marcus Tetwiler, student body president. First and foremost, how are you doing this morning, Marcus?
Brett, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I just want to say personally, I'm very excited to be on the show, especially for William Allen White Day. My sister is a 2005 graduate of the School of Journalism, and just over Christmas break, she was saying time and time again how the small community feel of the journalism program within the larger university context has been vital to her professional career, and just kind of wanted to give a little shout out to my journalism friends. And as a family member graduated, it's pretty special to be on today for William Allen White Day.
That's very cool. Is she coming back to join another J School alum today, or is she just chilling out doing her job?
She couldn't make it. She's a little far west. She's in San Francisco right now.
Cool.
But I know that in spirit, with the rest of Jayhawk Nation Alumni Association, she is here. I would also like to say, on behalf of the student body, a very special shout out to the alumni who are here in the union and participating in all of the activities today. I understand that there's an award ceremony at 10:30 taking place in Alderson Auditorium. Normally that's the Student Senate chamber, but for William Allen White Day, we're happy to share it.
Very cool. Speaking of Senate though, new semester, new things are going on. Can you catch us up on what's been going on in Senate? What kind of all important business has been going
Absolutely, Brett. I know there's probably a lot of students out in the lobby right now and that are probably going to tune in later. I will say that a really great project that is very close to finishing is the Parking Ticket Forgiveness Program. Now, I know there's a lot of students that have a lot of questions. I think it's the most trolled subject on my Twitter. Shameless shout out at KU President. It's a fun follow. Not always the most funny, but sometimes informational. I will say that the KU Parking Ticket Forgiveness Program is going to be released, not just beta testing, but available for students this semester. And it'll be a part of the KU Parking Institution for years to come. Parking program is very excited to kind of give that extra educational opportunity for students. It's geared towards, Brett. Now, have you had a parking ticket before?
I have not, knock on wood.
Okay,
So
you qualify.
Go.
It's actually for first-time ticket recipients.
Okay.
So if you've had 2 or 3, I apologize. You don't qualify. But if it's your first one, it's just for that first parking ticket, and then you're good to go, and you qualify. And I'd really encourage you to kind of check that out through the KU Senate website. We have a link to that page, and you can take the beta test right now to kind of see what that quiz is all about. But beyond that, just wait a couple weeks, and then it's going to be a part of the program. Excited to announce that.
All right, very cool. And I know you used to work with KU Parking here on campus. So how did that help influence this decision to kind of help bring this about in Senate?
Right. Well, everywhere at KU, you kind of see departmental thinking, and the last thing that a department wants is to be on an island. The last thing that parking department doesn't want to be, as many students deem them, the Sith Empire. They want to work with students, and they want to be a part of that informative process. And it's just kind of a simple leverage. Students are going to appeal that first ticket anyway. And most students, when they come to KU, feel like they're entrapped to a degree by not knowing parking regulations. I'm from a small community town, kind of like Emporia, William Allen White Day. Again, shout out. He's got that small town vibe.
Yeah.
I'm from a small town. I didn't even know parking regulations or rules existed in the state of Kansas. Holy cow, such a trap. And they understand that, and they sympathize with that. And so with this parking ticket forgiveness program, they wanted to allow students to have that educational opportunity so they didn't feel like the first interaction with KU administration was a punitive response for something that they didn't even know was wrong.
All right, very cool. And I think that's going to be about enough time for us. But what's your Twitter handle again, just to throw it out there?
My Twitter handle is at KU President, and I would appreciate the follow. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, no problem, Marcus. Thank you. And we'll be right back with Tim with the news.
Tim Cornell here, bringing you your news. As the Winter Olympics are now underway in Sochi, online airline security has increased. The TSA has now banned all liquid carry-on items for passengers traveling nonstop from the United States to Russia. This comes after a warning that toothpaste tubes might be used to bring explosives on board. The Wilt Chamberlain movie is nearly here. Local filmmaker Kevin Wilmot's movie Jayhawkers will premiere next Friday at 7 p.m. at the Leeds Center. Senior basketball player Justin Wesley portrays Chamberlain in the local story that parallels the civil rights movement in America. Additional showings will be held in the Leeds Center, and Wilmot will be a guest on our show one day next week. Now with your sports update. The Winter Olympics kick off tonight with the opening ceremony at 6:30 p.m. on NBC, though the actual ceremony will be happening before then due to the 8-hour time difference. The main events kick off tomorrow. There will be more than 1,000 hours of live streaming at NBCOlympics.com. Though remember that due to the time difference, a lot of these events will be happening at extremely early times of the morning. Tweet us and let us know what your favorite Olympic sport is at Media Crossroads. Personally, my favorite is curling. Watch the opening ceremony tonight at 6:30 on NBC. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned, and Brett and Jill will bring us back.
If I had a superpower, what would it be? The ability to make things levitate. The ability to read other people's minds. To be able to hold my breath underwater for a long time. I would talk to the animals. I could turn water into snow.
Or you could just give blood.
Welcome back to Good Morning KU. As we mentioned earlier, today is Friday, which means your weekend is coming up. We hope you have some exciting plans. Brett, what do you have going on?
Oh, not too much. I know my folks are coming back in town. Yeah, they're coming up on Saturday, so I'll get to see them for the first time in a while, and that's going to be really fun.
Good.
But that's also the same day as a KU basketball game. KU hosts West Virginia at 3 o'clock at the Fieldhouse. I know my camping group is going to be right in the front row because they drew number 1. They've got some presidential plans, so you'll just have to watch it. It's going to be on ESPN2 once again. Game tips off at 3.
Absolutely. Very excited for that game. Hoping for some good things from our Jayhawks. Another win would be really nice. I know I'll be out in the crowd screaming and cheering for them. And again, with that win last week, I think we got it. I think we have a good shot here this year.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But what about you, Jill? What do you have planned for the weekend?
You know, pretty much my life revolves around KU basketball. So pretty much that. Might get some homework done. That would be a good idea. Get ahead for the week.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of my journalism professors might be watching this right now, so I will definitely be doing some journalism homework this week. Don't know about you.
Looking at you, Karen Hallstead.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's all we have for today. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Jill Bainbridge.
And I'm Brett Ivy. Also, be sure to stick around for the presentation of the William Allen White Award in Alderson Auditorium. It starts around 10:30, so stay tuned. Thank you guys, and have a great day.